8:30 p.m. today as a result of a telephone call received at Shipways. A pre-planned operation to bring home Stephanie and arrest the kidnapper was launched.
An unlikely suspect, a deadly game. Headline crime, the one-legged killer, Thursday, 7:30, ITV1.
At this hospital, the staff go beyond the call of duty.
Pursue that animal!
Even the nurses receive special medical attention.
Why don't you have a boyfriend?
Why don't you have a girlfriend?
It's business as usual at Aidensfield Royal.
I'd be fascinated to learn the precise medical use of cherry brandy, gin and cocktail cherries.
The pretty face would certainly speed his recovery.
You'll be nursed in the same way as the other patients.
I sincerely hope.
The Royal, Sunday at 8, ITV1.
How do you help clear a blocked nose and a stuffy head? With a decongestant pill? Or with Vicks Sinex? Because Sinex goes straight to your nose, it goes straight to work. While a decongestant pill is still working its way into your system. And because Sinex is equally as powerful as a pill, the only thing you've got to lose is the weight. Vicks Sinex. Fast, powerful relief, day or night.
Ever wished for younger-looking eyes? Surgery is an option, and another is new Regenerist Eye from Olay, which has an aminopeptide complex. Firmer-looking eyes, smoother lines and wrinkles, and brighter skin under the eye. New Regenerist Eye from Olay. Love the skin you're in.
Give us the glow. The glow. Give us the glow. The glow. Give us the glow. Give us the glow.
Glow by J.Lo, the first fragrance by Jennifer Lopez.
I rang Norwich Union Direct to quote me happy. Quoted me very happy they did. Stretched 12 months insurance to 14. Gave me 2 months for free because I've got 4 years no claims. Blimey. That's stretching things a bit.
For an extra 2 months free car insurance, call 0800 828 838 right now and let Norwich Union Direct quote you happy.
On this morning, it's day 2 of our Country House Christmas. We're live from West Wickham with Hollywood legend Britt Eklund.
Plus, Rick Stein is showing us how to have a gourmet Christmas.
And from winter in Wickham to sunny Australia, we'll be linking up to the jungle to speak to the I'm a Celebrity winner.
That's this morning, 10:30. You can't miss it.
In the village of St Mary Mead,
Tea and scandal tomorrow at 4:30.
everyone seems to know everything about everyone else's business.
Are there any secrets in St Mary Mead?
Lots.
But there's one little old lady in particular
The simple fact is...
Murder is never simple.
who never misses a trick
We would be foolish to ignore any possibility. Did I say that?
and has a brilliantly flawless knack for solving murder.
You do have a reputation to maintain.
You must admit she's frightfully good.
ITV is proud to present
It's strangled Prothero sometime.
I'd stab him.
I'd poison him. I'd shoot him.
Agatha Christie's most inconspicuous super sleuth.
What a terrible thing.
I know. Rather thrilling, isn't it?
Geraldine McEwen leads an all-star cast in 4 brand new feature-length adaptations.
One doesn't come across such things.
The drama premiere, Agatha Christie's Marple, Sunday at 9, ITV1.
Good afternoon, welcome to the latest news from Calendar. First this afternoon, a Conservative MP from our region is calling for householders to have greater right to protect themselves against burglars. Patrick Mercer, who's the MP for Newark, wants a change in the law to give more protection to people who tackle intruders. This report's from Tim Iredale.
At present, the law states that we can use reasonable force when tackling intruders, but many see this as a muddle. London's police chief, Sir John Stevens, spoke out at the weekend calling for the law to be clarified. Now Tory MP Patrick Mercer is introducing a private member's bill which will give householders freedom from prosecution when tackling burglars.
Currently an intruder knows that he's got pretty well free rein to break into a house and to threaten people if necessary, and that probably the householder will be too frightened of the law as it stands to defend himself or herself.
Fred Barras, the teenage burglar shot dead by Tony Martin, and his accomplice Brendan Fearon both came from Patrick Mercer's Newark constituency. A leading supporter of the Norfolk farmer says he'd welcome a change in the law.
I think we ought to put the onus on the burglar. He has a choice whether he comes into your property or not, and therefore, with that choice, if he makes the wrong one, whatever happens to him is his problem.
However, the Tories have distanced themselves from the Tony Martin case, saying they don't support an anything-goes policy like some American states, where householders are practically encouraged to take the law into their own hands.
The coroners today called for better regulation of care workers after a 94-year-old woman died following a fall which left her with 8 broken ribs and which went unreported. Frail Maria Stones fell onto a coffee table trying to let her carer into her home in Thornbridge Drive in Sheffield earlier this year. Nicola Norton from care provider Chef Care found her on the floor but failed to tell anyone about the accident. She then denied it had happened. Mrs Stones died 2 weeks later from pneumonia, which coroner Chris Dorries said was a direct result of her injuries. Mrs Stones' son said he hoped important lessons would be learned.
There's a great sense of anger in that you know it shouldn't have happened the way it did happen. The fall should never have happened. To my mind, there's still the possibility that had the fall not happened and the broken ribs not happened and the pneumonia not followed on, that my mother would still be alive.
Well, in a statement, Chef Care say the carer involved has been dismissed following a disciplinary hearing, even though she'd told them that Mrs Stones had asked her not to report the fall. They say they've done everything in their power to reinforce the message to carers of the importance of reporting all accidents and problems. Relatives of those serving with the Duke of Wellington Regiment, one of the 3 in our region under threat from defence cuts, have staged a rooftop protest. They climbed onto the top of the Territorial Army headquarters in Keighley, from where Katie Oscroft now reports.
Support your local regiment!
Well, you can hear this protest going on the top of this building with its historic attachments to the Duke of Wellington's regiment. Michael Thompson is among the protesters up there. Michael, what's your point?
The point is that we don't think army cuts should be made when the government has put the forces into a battle zone. You can't do that to people. They're out there putting their lives at risk. Everyone's against all reform of war. That's not the issue. They're doing a job they've never grumbled. They're trying to threaten the regiment that they've joined to be loyal to.
Your brother's in Iraq at the moment.
18 years now, and he's one of a long line of tradition in our family who joined that regiment because it was Yorkshire's own regiment, because of the Keighley barracks here, because of the brotherhood between them all, the loyalty that you get with serving your country.
Well, thank you, Michael. Obviously strong feelings there, and the 3 protesters plan to stay on the rooftop for as long as it takes, they say, and they are awaiting a decision from the government.
Katie Oscroft reporting from Keighley. The wife of the murdered police officer Ian Broadhurst has opened her heart to Calendar after American fugitive David Bieber was last week jailed for life for Ian's killing. Eilish Broadhurst has been speaking to Christine.
There's not a day goes by you don't think about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He was my husband and he always will be. That'll never ever change. He'll always be my husband. And I'll always be his wife.
And we'll bring you more of that moving interview with Eilish Broadhurst on Calendar tonight at 6. A 15-month fight to save part of the ancient Sherwood Forest appears to have come to an end, with contractors on site this afternoon felling trees. 3 people have been arrested. The treetop village at Mansfield Woodhouse has become a familiar sight, but today workmen were dropped onto the trees from a crane to begin cutting them down. Environmental campaigners were protesting over a link road being built next to a nearby housing estate. The campaigners had built tree houses, treetop walkways and a network of tunnels at the site. One protester is believed to be staging a sit-in in one of the tunnels. Well, this afternoon the demonstrators and the enforcement officer have been giving their reactions to today's latest developments.
So they grabbed everybody, secured anyone they could on the ground, very quickly climbed up all the trees. I mean, I'm very surprised and in fact slightly horrified by the gung-ho fashion in which they came in. I mean, there's one lad on the far side, he got caught, he had a bad arm and he's been caught, he literally, he's quite a dangerous situation, I believe, halfway up a tree over there because of the way that they did it, you know. So I'm a bit surprised, I'm a bit concerned really for the person in the tunnel, because considering how gung-ho they're being so far, there's a risk that they'll be unnecessarily taking risks for people's lives, I think.
Low-fare flights from the region's newest airport will go on sale for the first time today before it's even been opened. Robin Hood Airport is being created on the site of the former Finningley RAF base near Doncaster. Thomson Holidays has already announced it will operate flights from the airport to a number of holiday destinations next year, and from today, low-fare tickets to European destinations will now go on sale with their budget airline Thomson Fly. South Yorkshire Fire and Civil Defence Authority has appointed a new Chief Fire Officer for the county. Mark Smitherman was offered the post yesterday following a meeting of the authority's selection committee. He's currently seconded to South Yorkshire Fire Service as Deputy Chief Fire Officer from his post with Nottinghamshire Fire Service. Mr Smitherman joined the Fire Service in 1979 and has served in London, Strathclyde and has been a Deputy Chief Fire Officer in Nottinghamshire since the year 2000. 3 men who were seriously injured when a work platform crashed to the ground in Sheffield more than a year ago are today considering whether to take legal action. An inquest jury has returned a verdict of accidental death on 60-year-old Anthony Bottomley, who died when a bracket supporting the cradle on which all 4 men were working snapped. They all fell more than 30 feet down the side of the St James office building in Sheffield city centre in July last year. One survivor, Peter Wilson, is still on crutches. Another, Dale Howard, was in hospital for 2 weeks afterwards, and a third, Anthony Glossop, was also injured.
The jury today has returned a verdict of accidental death. It doesn't necessarily mean that the death was not avoidable, and the coroner said that in quite specific terms. The evidence has shown that there was a failure of routine and extensive maintenance on a regular basis.
Yorkshire and the Humber has one of the poorest public health records in the country. Now there are plans to tackle illness and premature death in the region. At a conference in Leeds today, local government minister Nick Rainsford outlined plans to get local authorities, the community, employers and the NHS to work together to address the situation. He'll also visit Barnsley to assess the effect of a similar campaign currently in action.
What it's all about is working together, because public health depends on much more than the health service. It depends on people having healthy lifestyles, it depends on good quality housing, it depends on clean air, it depends on a wide range of measures. And the only way we're really going to effectively attack the problems that still exist, sadly, in many communities, is by partnership working.
Well, on to football now, and Scunthorpe United will get a £250,000 windfall after drawing Premiership leaders Chelsea in the next round of the FA Cup. The Iron boss, Brian Law, says the cash could mean the difference between the club winning promotion this season and not. The Iron are currently top of Division 2 after a storming start to the season, but they scooped the plum draw after beating Division 1 side Wrexham in the weekend's cup clash. A new management agreement has been announced for the future running of the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield. The £27 million venue in the Lower Don Valley will be run by Sheffield International Venues, Sport England and the English Institute of Sport until April 2009. This is all at no extra cost to the general public. It's hoped the new management should make the centre operate more efficiently for the benefit of the community and elite athletes. So far, 5 national governing bodies have confirmed they will be using the venue as a national development centre. Now, the Grimsby singer Matt Stiff defied the odds yet again when he won through to the final in the TV talent show X Factor. Matt is in the opera singing boy band G4. Only a couple of weeks ago, they were the bookies' favourites to be voted off the programme. But after 3 excellent performances in front of millions of viewers during the ITV1 show at the weekend, Matt and his mates were first to get through to the final, where they'll face soloist Steve, who has the backing of Simon Cowell. Now, Christmas has come early for one very special group of children from the Callander region. More than 100 poorly children jetted off from Humberside Airport to Lapland, courtesy of the Wish Upon a Star charity. There they had fun in the snow before getting down to the serious business of meeting Father Christmas himself.
I think he was great, and I think he was real, and all the other ones was jokes in suits, like on TV, and this one was really real, and I think it was really real. And it gave me this teddy, and I love him, and I love him, and I love him. Fantastic. I know, I've actually seen a real person who's been downstairs while I've been asleep on Christmas Eve night.
More from Lapland and the biggest kid of all, Tina Gelder, when we come back with Calendar tonight at 6. But that's it for this afternoon. Hope you can join us for tonight's show. Myself and Christine Talbot will be with you live at 6. Until then, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye for now.
It's back, and it's better than ever.
One back.
Now that's entertainment. Friday, 11:30 on ITV1.
Whatever the weather, rain or shine, Carcraft. A most enjoyable car buying experience.
Hello and good afternoon. Well, one or two breaks in the cloud today, but it has tended to increase that cloud from the northwest. And as we move into the evening, this cold front's going to move down, bringing with it some patchy rain for overnight tonight. But it's good news as we move into tomorrow. It tends to clear from the south. Behind it, some brightening conditions. So we are expecting some sunshine, and it's dry for most of us. And it does stay fairly settled for the bulk of this week. These fronts staying way out west, so we're perhaps bringing a spell of rain, but not really until Friday. So as we move into this evening, then the cold front moves down from the northwest, bringing with it some patchy rain, and it will tend to linger into parts of North Nottinghamshire, Lincolnshire and North Norfolk into the early hours. North of the Humber, dry conditions with one or two clear spells, where we may see temperatures dip to 3 or 4 Celsius. A little bit of mist and fog there too, but those winds much lighter overnight tonight, but still pushing in from the southwest. So for tomorrow then, we've got a fairly cloudy start in the south with some spits and spots of rain, but that front sinks southwards, brightening conditions behind it, and certainly for the afternoon, some nice spells of sunshine, dry, and those temperatures 8 Celsius, the winds a lot lighter from the northwest. And then as we head further into the week, it's really staying fairly settled. We may see some mist first thing, but some broken cloud and sunny spells. That spell of rain on Friday. Take care. See you soon.
Carcraft, a different outlook on used cars.
The Salvation Army is an internationally known charity demonstrating its Christian principles through social welfare provisions, such as its luncheon clubs and Copper Beach Nursery in Leeds.
I came to work for the Salvation Army for a month to help them out. I came as a nurse. That was 38 years ago. And as the work changed and there was no need for people to hide away to have their babies, we started taking homeless families. And I worked with a homeless family, and I worked at Mount Cross as a deputy for 15 years. And then I came over in January to take over the running of the nursery.
I think the Salvation Army goes a lot deeper than most people understand about the Salvation Army. Most people think the Salvation Army are standing there singing, collecting money, and there's just so much. They've got the homeless hostels, they've got the mother and baby hostels, they've got the backup, because even when people leave the hostels, they've still got the backup from the Salvation Army to help them cope in society.
To find out more, call 0113 281 0100 or visit www.salvationarmy.org.uk.
Right, boys. Either of you a prince?
It's not.
Right.
I'm Lady Suze. I hear you're a baron.
A count, actually.
That'll do. Single?
No, this is a contest.
Any titles? What about you?
Annie, Horam, Blue Blood, Tanya. I've got one. Recently widowed. He's my dream man.
You jammy cat.
These aren't the only North Londoners desperate for a European title.
Arsenal versus Rosenborg, Tuesday, 7:25, ITV1.
There's a magic place for you to be. It's called CITV. You can go out every day to